On Stockbox today, we're joined by the CEO of ECR Minerals, Craig Brown. Welcome again, Craig. Good to be talking so soon. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much for having me, Mark. Things are going very well at the moment, as always.
Yeah, it seems like it. And I remember last time we were speaking, you said you were very busy and things were looking positive. The drill was turning and it's going to be busy for a while. And of course, you released the RNS on Friday, the update from the HR3 prospect. Can you give us an overview of that announcement?
Well, to be honest, the first draft of the announcement was ready on Tuesday, so I think we'd completed the whole by about Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's just that it takes so long to get these announcements out and approved by various parties, including your Nomad. But certainly, and the whole is completed. First batch of samples off to the laboratory, though not all of it's been analysed, and we got some very positive results. So through our internal XRF, so let's hopefully they'll be replicated on our assay results from the laboratory. I mean, we were anticipating putting out our XRF results or our internal results, but out of caution, we thought we'd wait till we get the lab results back, and we've been promised that they'll be back fairly quickly. We've internally processed things, but we've got the Gecko laboratory in Ballarat doing a full analysis for us at the moment.
Great. And you don't see any sort of significant delays with the assay results coming back?
Well, we've been promised that they should be turned around within 2 weeks. So let's hope that comes through. But there'll be a continual flow of assay results. I mean, the hole was originally planned for about 160 meters. We drilled down to 300 meters because we kept on intersecting quartz. So it was very positive. I mean, there's the old Byron shaft, which we drilled through at depth, which hasn't been mined out where we drilled. And, the average grade mine there was about 15 grams a ton. But, and we hope to at least get those results based on AXRF. We could even have some higher results. And but we intersected sections of quartz thereafter. So let's see what the results come through like. It's looking good.
Good. I noticed in the RNS you talk about the hole intersecting the Byron main reef. So just what is the Byron main reef?
Well, it was a reef which was mined from about the late 1860s to the 1907, around that area. And there are a few reefs which were mined, and this did produce particularly good results. And based on what's publicly available, as I said, it's about over 15 grams a ton, or around 15 grams a ton is the grade which went through the stamp. But I mean, if they're coming across nuggets, it may not necessarily have all been reported. So, it was quite a reasonable mine around the area. They would have had several hundred people working in it. Mm-hmm. Each person owned their own license, which was about 12 foot long, and you could own several licenses, and they seemed to get quite good results. The difficulty is that as soon as they got down to the water table, which they could hit anywhere from about 40 to 60 meters, they had trouble going any deeper. In the end, they had a compressor pumping the water out, but it was an old, coal compressor run by coal, got a steam engine compressor pumping the water out, and so. And I think it broke down and the mine flooded, and that's when they stopped. And it was like 1907. They didn't mine the section that we're in. We're mining deeper and a continuation of the mineralization. But certainly, from where they did mine, going further back, the mineralization will still be there at depth, we believe. So. We're quite positive, but also we're quite positive that we're seeing quartz further out, which may not have been, which certainly wasn't interpreted previously. So we've got a lot of drilling to do in there and around the area. Byron is part of HR3, and it consists of basically 3 or 4 reefs which were previously mined, but they're only mined on surface. Scowlers, Maori, HR3. So we do Byron. So there's about 4 kind of prospects in there, and our initial ideas a few years ago is they could potentially make up an open pit. We did a little bit of RC drilling back in 2017, but we couldn't ident. And some of the reefs which we struck weren't weren't the reefs which were previously identified. So we think there's a lot more upside in the mineralization. So that's where we're going to be really hammering on with at the moment.
Okay. Certainly from what I can understand from talking to different companies operating in the Victoria region is that, like you say, a lot of the historical mines were mined from surface gold, and there's actually, potentially a lot of gold under surface that just hasn't been discovered yet, and you're having sort of these big blind discoveries that are coming forward. So it's great to see that you've had that positive drill result, and of course the RNS also says visible gold has been found. So how does it feel from your point of view, from your perspective? How does it feel that you got visible gold in the core, and how significant is that for the drill program?
Well, quite often, gold is measured in, the gold particle size can be in microns, 100 microns, 150 microns, which is a 150th of a millimeter. So you can, not visible to the human eye. Whereas, when it's visible and it's a millimeter wide, these little kind of gold particles, it's quite positive. I mean, we've had nuggets even higher than that from rock chip sampling in the area. So based on that, that shows there's really high grades down there, and because it is the gold is contained in sulfides. It's a form of disseminated gold, and so when you actually can visualize the gold, it certainly makes things a lot better. So we are very positive, and we're positive that we're going to get great results, and we're just going to get this into a resource as quickly as we can. But we've certainly got a good team set up now, and we were understaffed to begin with. Now we've got all the staff I think we need on the drilling side, and Adam's really committed to the project and been sorting things out, and driving things along. So I'm very positive. I mean, we've got plenty of targets to go forth, and so there's no shortage of drilling to be done going forward.
Great. Now, a quick question, Craig, on what we're seeing in the news recently, that Victoria has gone into a snap lockdown. How does that affect you at all?
Well, it was only announced on Friday and Friday morning, and it came into effect from about midnight on Friday. But already we'd prepared the applications and had them submitted to the even though the news came on Friday, we already had the applications in it by the end of the day. And so everybody was able to go to work on Saturday as normal. So it hasn't affected us in any way, because mining is one of those industries which is considered essential. It's an essential business. And so therefore, nonstop, we can keep working the whole time. And all our permits were granted straight away. Moving in and out of the state is a bit more difficult. The lockdown's only meant to be until Wednesday at this point, but it may be extended. But however, saying that, it's absolutely having no effect on us.
Okay. Yeah, it is only a very short one. That's what I read as well. A very snap one that Jacinta applies and then hopefully opens up again quite soon. But it certainly looks like Australia has the whole virus situation much more under control than the rest of the world, really. So that's a good show there from Australia and New Zealand for sure. Now, looking ahead, Craig, for ECR, you say the drill rig's going to be busy. So what does a drilling roadmap look like for Midas in let's say Q1, Q2?
Well, after I think we've got another couple of holes going into Byron, and then we're going across to the Maori Reef and Scowlers, and there's a third reef, which we're fourth reef, which we're targeting all within that area. Mm-hmm. And that was part of this HR3 historical reserve. So we hope to get some form of resource out of that at the end of this. We've also got some 2,000 soil samples across the Bailieston license, which we're looking at doing. And they're geochem soil sampling, and they're starting off tomorrow. We've got another geological assistant. Well, he's actually a qualified geologist, but he's working as a geological assistant, assisting us. We bought another vehicle, so we're full bore with that at the moment. And after HR3, we hope to move down to HR4, which is Cherry Tree South, and another patch of drilling and another resource. And then the kind of the next two areas is Blue Moon, if we can get back when we get back into there, and then also Black Cat around that area. But a lot of it will be determined by the soil sampling. But we've got at least another four places to drill within this HR3 prospect. We've got all the permits and everything's all lined up and in place, and then down to HR4, and we hope to start getting resources out by the end of the year. So that should be pretty positive. if we do have any time available, we'll there's the potential that we could take our rig down to Creswick and do a little bit of structural drilling down there. But things are still ongoing on our discussions with Creswick. But and certainly, we've come to a point in the road whereby it's just a few kind of legal and licensing issues which need to be resolved. But the government departments aren't always the most efficient, and especially now that we're back in lockdown for a few days. So let's see how we get on over the next few days. Everybody's probably got an excuse to stay at home at the moment, but it's just the sheer volume of license applications which have come in Victoria. The department's been somewhat overwhelmed.
Okay, that's understandable. But at least you're going to be keeping Midas very busy. I'm sure people will be very pleased.
Non-stop. It's not a program just for Q1, Q2. I mean, we'll be, our plan is to keep drilling the entire time.
Okay, great. Now, last time we spoke, Craig, you talked about the financial strength of the business, with ECR being positioned with around 4 million in working capital and strong support from major shareholders. Now, we've received a number of questions from investors recently, so let me put to you the two that are the most popular. So first of all, is the company looking to expand its project portfolio at all?
Well, I mean, we've only got 2 licenses, we've got 2 licenses, which were the 2 out of the first kind of 5, which we're focused on, and in Victoria, but we've got another 8 license applications out there. So realistically, it's those 8 license applications. Victoria is pretty well being pegged after that. I mean, possibly we could earn or buy into something else, but at the moment, not. I think we've got more than enough work, and I'd prefer us to develop the current projects, prospects, and to get to a mine and a resource in a mine. So, that's how we want to go. We don't want to take on too much. To alleviate political risk, we do get the odd opportunity presented to us and secure regions in the world. And so there's a possibility. We've been shown a few things from Canada and a few other places recently. So, there's a possibility that we might pick up some prospective exploration licenses out elsewhere, but our key commitment will be on Australia.
Okay, and the other question that was very popular was, where do you want to see ECR by the end of 2021?
Well, with at least another 4 or 5 licenses in Victoria issued, and resources at the ground, so that we're reporting resources, and I think that will certainly have a substantial boost to the value of the company.
Okay.
So, that's where we are.
Okay. Well, Craig Brown, the CEO of ECR Minerals, thank you very much for that update.
Okay, thank you very much for having me, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.